So you can do that and then just grease your pan normally. And now we're just gonna slide this into the pan and smooth it out. The only thing is the parchment does slide a bit, so kind of have to fight it, but yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Like, I'm just glad he's okay. That's crazy. Okay, so got this nicely pushed across. You want to make it nice and even. You can do this with your hands if you want. And I just might grab a glove and do just that. There we go, yeah. Get in there with the hands. It's going to bake up so your fingerprints won't stick around anyways. And it'll give you a better idea of how thick it is around. Yeah. So there we go. Job's a good one. And we are going to pop these in the oven for about 18 minutes to start. We'll see. I'm not gonna I love that you can find the humor in the things. So we're gonna head over, we're gonna plop these in the oven, which is the perfect 350. We're gonna give it 18 minutes to start. It says 18 to 25, which is kind of an odd range, but okay. I guess it depends on your oven. So we'll start with 18 and go from there, which is perfect because now that gives us time to start on our balls. Because that's basically the main event for tonight is the balls. And it's actually going to be really simple. Balls. We are doing balls tonight. We're doing picnic food, so I want things that are easy and you can make ahead and will travel well and won't give you, you know, salmonella like that. So I appreciate the hydrates though. Yes. We could make walls, I suppose, if we were doing like gingerbread or something, but yeah, so we're gonna do chicken and chorizo meatballs because they're actually really, really simple. It's because chorizo is so heavily seasoned as it is. You just have to throw in a couple other things to make them taste amazing. So I have a pound of ground chicken. Gross. And I have a pound of ground chorizo, just loose out of the casing, the El Chorizo Latino, which is at Bountiful Market if anybody is interested. Yes, it did defrost. We are all good. Yeah, being in the office, I'm like, can you take stuff out of the freezer for me so it'll be ready to go for stream? So, and to that we are going to add 2 eggs. And just double checking quantities here. And I'm also going to grab some gloves for this. And I'm going to put my big pot pan on the stove because after we're done these, we are going to bake them for a few minutes. But we're going to fry them off first to let them get nice and crispy. So I'm just going to start up my pan there with some olive oil in it. Get my olive oil open. There we go. Apparently, I'm having an issue with my olive oil. Oh, for Pete's sake. Come on. That was dramatic. Okay, so we're gonna just put a little bit of oil in the pan just to let that heat up. Actually, I'm gonna leave it for a minute while we get the balls ready to go. We're going to heat down a bit. Oh. Sure, why not? You're already wiring the whole string set. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so anyways, that's going to heat up there for a bit. I'm just going to let that come to temperature, and we will go back to getting these made. So, I'm sort of trying to figure out where everything is right now because things have changed slightly with the upgrades to the behind the scenes stuff. So I am going to, actually I'm going to chop my onion first. As you can tell, apparently I need to plan a little bit better. There we go. I'm going to chop my onions first. So I'm just using a regular white onion. Lords of Acid EP? What? You're joking. That's amazing. My 90s raver self is excited about that. God. Nope, and new remixes. Wow. So the new album is remixes of all their old stuff, or it's actually new music? Because now I'm desperately curious. I've been really grooving on like the 90s rave stuff lately. I'd forgotten just how good it is. So I'm only going to use half of this. And I'm going to do the cheat chop because I don't feel like being particularly professional about it today. Lords of Acid Beyond Booze. What? Did they really call it that? That's hilarious. You could use a food processor for this, and with how incredibly hot these are, I probably should have. But oh my god, my eyes are just watering right now. Oh, and there goes my nose. Sorry, guys. Aw, I'm crying on stream. These are... Man, onions have been so hot lately. Except for the ones I had the other day, I've been having to do pretty much everything in the food processor simply because they are so hot right now. And I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just the weather where they've been grown. I'm also going to put some garlic in. Just because you can never have too much garlic. Don't need to add a lot of seasoning. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Oh, I can't see out of my left eye right now. Oh. Holy shit. These are brutal. Oh my god. Man, you need a freaking gas mask for these. Holy shit. But I like white onion just because they have a cleaner flavor. So that is unfortunately the price you have to pay. And of course, the more you chop them, the worse the worse it gets. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna slide those into oh my god. I'm just going to stand here for a second and try and get the sight back in my left eye, because apparently, wow. And it's funny, it's only the left eye that's going mental right now, not the right eye. Just the left. Yikes. Holy smokes. Okay, so I'm going to pop those in my bowl. That's plenty for 2 pounds of meat. Yeah, this is fine. It's all fine. And I'm going to grab some garlic in there. These are giant cloves, so I'm just going to use one of my mutant cloves. There we go. Oh, maybe this is a double. Hard to tell. I know. Oh, or a gas mask or something. Holy shit. That is bad. Oh, this is a double. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to put a couple cloves in there, but of course garlic is to taste, so you can put in as much or as little or none if you don't want to. And I'm just going to give this a smash. Oh. Get that minced up. Smashing them just makes it so much easier to be. At least these ones are smashing, unlike the last one, which I swear to God were like made of wood or something. They just would not smash. Playing Dr. Mass Cooking, right? Oh yeah, no, that would actually, you know. Oh, maybe that'd be Halloween. You know, a little bit of a costume. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I'm actually grateful to be chopping garlic now, because my eyes are slowly starting to come back to normal. Which will be fine once I get everything else in. Okay. A couple of those are big pieces. I don't really want to have giant chunks of garlic in here, so we'll... Perfect. So into the bowl they go. And now I'm just gonna rinse my hands off here. Oh man. Well, at least my sinuses are clear now. I was a little stuffy earlier. I don't know about anybody else, but this lovely rain has caused all of the pollen to come right back up now that it's dried up a bit. So I am an allergy nightmare most days. And I'm going to add 2 eggs. Let's get these combined first and then we'll add the meat. Man, I'm actually looking forward to getting the meat in here so that I can tame these a bit. Okay. So into that goes our pound of ground chicken. Oh, that was nice. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that was a fun sound. And a pound of ground chorizo. TOS. Yeah. Did I give it this bag enough? I did not give this bag enough of a cut, did I? Oh yeah, I did. Need to... There we go. And this is the super spicy chorizo, because I like everything spicy. You could obviously use much less spicy stuff if you prefer, but it needs to be Mexican chorizo. Can't be... Yeah. Okay. It's going to come out of the bag. Come on. Give you a bit of a shake there. There we go. Nice. All right. So, yeah, it needs to be Mexican style chorizo. It can't be the Spanish style, because Spanish style is already cured and cooked through, and it's all very hard texture, so you need to have the Mexican style, which is in tiger heart meat, yes. Okay. get my gloves on because I'm also going to put my salt, my pepper, and my breadcrumbs in. I'm using panko because I like the texture it gives. And okay, apparently I should have dried my hands a little better as we spend half an hour getting gloves on. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. So I'm using smoked sea salt because I always use smoked sea salt on everything. I love it. So salt to taste. Obviously the chorizo will have some seasoning, but it isn't usually salty. So I'm gonna be fairly generous. And just gonna put in some black pepper. Again, it's all to taste. That's the beauty of meatballs, is it's pretty much do what you want. And I'm gonna put in about half a cup of panko. We'll see what the texture's like. If we need to, we can always add more. But it's better to start small and go in with more after. And now we're just going to mush this all together and get it all nice and combined. You don't have to worry about overworking it. This isn't something you want, that tight texture, unlike a hamburger where you want to handle it as little as possible just because you really want it to be nice and tender to eat. Meatballs, you want that bite, so you need that little bit of extra work so that it sort of gets all those proteins moving around. Try and get everything combined as well as you can. And I'm using extra lean chicken here. Actually, I don't think you can find ground chicken in pretty much anything else. You could, obviously, if you wanted more fat in it, you could grind your own chicken. Yeah, it's very squishy. Squishy, squishy. Okay, so that is pretty good. I am happy with that. It smells amazing. This chorizo is freaking incredible. And perfect. Okay. Now, that's well combined. And take these off. We are going to grab another tray to put them on. And we are going to make them into balls now. So I'm using my spring-loaded cookie scoop. It's about 1.5 tablespoons. Is that what it says? I say that and then I always... You know what? I know that measurement. I've read the inside of that scoop a million times and I still check every time. Like, trust yourself, but don't trust yourself. Okay, let's make some balls. And the best part about these is, like, they'll go nicely with the other things that I'm making, like the hummus and flatbreads, so it's kind of like the perfect meals. Okay, so just take a scoop, roll it up, put it in there. Just do that until you've got all of them made. I like using the scoop because that keeps the size fairly consistent, so they'll all cook relatively the same. Because I also have a really hard time making accurate sized balls. I usually start off quite small and then by the end they end up gigantic. So it looks like you have this, starts off really tiny here, and as you go along you can tell that either I'm getting bored of rolling them or I just realized, yeah, this is actually, Elizabeth got this for me for Christmas and this is what I wanted it for. It's great for cookies, but it's even more great for this because it literally takes no time to do it. And when you have even sized things, they cook better. You don't have one that's like burnt and one that needs 10 more minutes, so I suppose I could have worked on my spacing here. Make sure they get all on the pan. Old balls, yeah. Oh. Okay. I am going to go peek at those blondies and see how we're doing. Again, this is going to be the 25 pairs of gloves stream. And so, oh, we're getting there. Just turn on the light so you guys can see these. I'm gonna pull them out. As you can see, they're still, I don't know, I hope you can see, they're still a little wobbly in the middle, but it has puffed up nicely. So yeah, still got a bit of a jiggle, so I'm just gonna give it a twist so that it gets even cooking. And I'm gonna give it another, let's go 4 minutes. It said anywhere between 18 to 25. Another 4 minutes will take us to 22, so should be good. Yes. Yes. All of the gloves. All of the gloves. Well, at least these ones will be easier to put on because my hands are dry. I just want to get to making these meatballs because I am freaking starving. Okay. Let's get back at this. Now, they suggested putting them on skewers to take them with you. I'm like, that seems like a lot of work afterwards. I would just pile these in a container. And the best part is that these get even better as they sit. So if you make them the night before, like I am, they'll be even more tasty. Nick, good to see you. Beach blanket. Not for nothing. I wish I had some beachy music. I saw your post about your chicken tonight. How did it go? Sounded delicious. Raclette Twister. Oh, because I know how much you love raclette. Yeah. I am a cheese fanatic. I love all kinds of cheese, and I have found the one that Underground will not share with me under any circumstances, and that is raclette. I don't know whether it's because he thinks it smells like feet. Wipeout! Yes. Now I want to play bingo. Beach blanket bingo. Or Twister. Twister would be good. Actually, no. I'd be terrible at Twister right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what Underground thinks of raclette. Which I don't understand because it's delicious and I love it. But to each their own, I suppose. Okay. Oh, nice. Is it a sweet sauce or a smoky sauce or a spicy sauce? Do tell, please. Desperately curious. Because with chicken, I usually go with sort of a fruit base. I really like blackberry or plum, that kind of vibe with my chicken. But I also like spicy. Shocking. Yeah. Really? Swiss, hey? Is it just because... Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. I hear you, Nick. It's hard to find... because like, you don't want to put all that effort into your food and then have a mediocre sauce, that's for sure. Apparently I needed a bigger tray. For my balls. This tray isn't big enough for my balls. Ah, yes. Yeah, apricot is gorgeous. I love apricot. I actually saw a thing today about apricot jam, and I'm like, I really need to make more jam this year, and apricot is definitely one of the ones I am going for, along with, I make a nectarine. I can kind of see where you're coming from, Nick. I don't think I'd be a raspberry fan myself on chicken. I'd have to try it, I guess. I'm gonna fit all these balls on here if it's the last thing I do. So I'm not dirtying another pan. Says the girl who uses all of the dishes all of the time. Alright. Just gonna slide these over. This tray isn't big enough for my balls. Yes. Yeah. No, I imagine that if someone stepped in and that was the first thing they heard, they would probably step right back out. I'm just gonna go check these blondies. Hopefully we'll be able to take them out. Grab my poker here. Oh yeah, I think we are pretty good. I'm just gonna give it a stab. Yeah, those are perfection. Check those out. Those are gorgeous. I did not get a rack out for them, so I'm just gonna perch them there. And the good thing is that these cook at the same temperature as the meatballs will, so it's all good. So yeah, I'm happy with those. I'm just gonna set them aside here so that we can let them cool. And just maneuvering things here, sorry. All right. Oh God, they smell so good. Okay, those are settled. And is nice and hot here, so they'll be ready for my balls. They won't be sweaty, but they will be hot balls. Empty that velvet first. Oh yes, please. Yes, my balls smell good, but so do the blondies. So we are cooking right along here. Who's got big balls? I think mine are pretty hefty tonight. Mine are pretty hefty. Bigger tray. I can always count on Underground to clip the perfect things. Oh my goodness. Okay, there is room on this tray for these balls. I will make them fit. A little bit of love and attention and we should get them in there. Oh, you guys really... yeah. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Yeah, I would dearly love to see someone's reaction if that was the first thing they came in on. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate you waiting until I didn't have a knife in my hand for that one, but you do realize that I am covered in meat juice, so there is no way I'm touching my water bottle right now. But thanks for the hydrate. I will get to that in a second. And also thank you for setting that up so that I can actually hear them, because it is so much more fun to be able to hear the redeems when they happen. Got meat juice. Yes, meat juice. I am covered in meat juice. Aren't we all meat popsicles anyways? Oh, come on. Right over. Slightly misshapen balls, but close enough. There we go. I think I've got 2 left. I think we've got... Whoops! Sliding all over the place here. Jump after the manuals work. Oh my goodness. Has this devolved? I think it's because my day was just like totally weird from the very beginning, and it has just continued that way. All right. Last ball. I feel like a baseball game. Okay, I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Try and avoid all the cross-contamination where possible. Always be safe when working with meat kids. Don't want to end up getting yourself or someone else sick. Unless you don't like them, and then feel free. I'm not going to judge. Alright. Check those out. I am pretty impressed with my balls right now, so... I'm glad I can help, Nick. Or I'm sorry. One of the two. No, I'm not sorry. The weirder, the better. Okay, so we are going to head back to the stove, because now we need to brown these off. I'm going to give them about 2 or 3 minutes. What meat is in my balls? I have half ground chicken and half spicy chorizo. You want this whole VOD to edit? No. Alright, so me and my balls are heading back to the stove. And Get my oil out of the way. I'm going to put them on this tray to bake them after, so that's why it's there. Ooh, everything around here is just very hot. Probably because the oven's going and the pan is going, so I'm going to turn this up a little bit now so that we can be at slightly medium heat. And for whatever reason, I brought tongs. I don't know why I brought tongs to the party, but I'm just going to slide that around. And we're just going to let these fry off. Might have to content trailer. Yes. Chorizo. Oh no, you don't like chorizo? And it's extra spicy. I think your Ariba McIntyre would be appreciative of it. Okay. Just gonna oil moving around. Might have to do 2 batches. Kind of working my best to get them all in one pan. Might be able to fit them all in. We're just doing the perimeter here first. I'd like to not have to do 2 batches and use yet another pair of gloves. Slide these guys over. I suppose I could use both hands and make this much easier. Oh, that's okay. Bacon. If you didn't like bacon, then I'd be really concerned. But we can forgive the no chorizo if you like bacon. Okay, and yeah, this is gonna take 2 batches here, so I'm just gonna slide these gloves off. Yeah. Oh, they smell so good, and that's the beauty about these, is they're super fast and easy because the chorizo has the seasonings in them already. So just give that a bit of a shake there. Not quite sure why I brought these to the party, because I am terrible with them, but okay, yeah. And the chorizo is going to help with the chicken because the chicken is so super lean, and if it was just like chicken, it would dry out immediately. You just have to be more careful about how you cook them, I suppose. But I don't think I would ever use just plain chicken for a meatball. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind dark meat like turkey for a meatball, but I don't think I do just plain chicken. Yeah, you're right, Scotch Bear. You're right. I am the worst with tongs. So, a little bit of color on them. We're just trying to get the bottoms to set first, and then we can sort of flip them over. I'm just going to turn the heat up a smidge. I'm not quite sure why I keep torturing myself with a pair of tongs. I know I'm useless. But I keep hoping that one day that'll suddenly, like, miraculously change. So far, not so much. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 spoons here because you do flippity. Yeah, Fijian, not Tongan. Exactly. I should just embrace the fact that I suck with tongs and be okay with it. But I'm gonna get these perimeter guys flipped. But thank you for the suggestion, Scotch Bear. Underground would have let me continue trying to use the tongs. Content, I'm sure. So, God, I haven't made salmon burgers forever, and I remember the last time I did, I bought the wrong kind of salmon. Like, I never use fresh salmon because I'm not a fish eater, but I do enjoy canned tuna and canned salmon, and I made salmon patties, but I bought the wrong kind. I spent literally an hour and a half over the sink taking out all of the bones and everything. It was a nightmare, and Had I not spent so much money on the damn salmon, I would have given up. But I'm like, no. I've already spent the money, put in the effort, I might as well finish it up. But, yeah, so that was like 10 years ago. That sounds like something I could try again. Okay. And these are going to go into the oven for a bit, so we're just trying to get a bit of a brown on them. We're not cooking them all the way through. So let that sit for a minute. Oh my god, it smells so good. I just slid them over. Yeah. So as long as I don't need to pick things up with the tongs, I'm okay with them. There we go. Sort of slide things around. Up. Ah, ooh, that's fancy. You know what? Maybe if I'd tried it with the good stuff, maybe I would actually enjoy it. I was never, I don't know, I never acquired a taste for fish, and because it wasn't something we ate as kids. Like, my parents love fish, but we just never ate it. So, hand diced mince and then pomace meat. Ooh, that sounds delightful. Sushi redeem. Sushi redeem? What do you mean sushi redeem? You make cryptic redeems? We're gonna have words, because I don't know what that means. Job. Great job. Thanks. Oh my god, this smells so good. Now this is the kind of facial I could get into. Who doesn't love a good facial, right? Tasty steam. Just make it that much better. Did I, Elizabeth? Okay, busted. Apparently I ate fish when I was little. Also, spoiler, I did eat fish sticks. I just didn't eat, salmon and things like that. And that's not true. I have had sushi. I like the bastardized type sushi, like California rolls. I'm going to get my water. Jesus. That thing is, so good. You don't turn that on when I have my knife in my hand. Cheers, everybody. Oh, well, I was a child. I don't remember, so I'll take your word for it. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Oh, those are looking nice. Perfect. Okay. I am happy with those. Get that little caramelization going. And perfect. I'm going to scoop these onto my tray and then we can cook the rest of them off. Let's make sure, yeah, that one needs a little bit longer. You can tell where the hot spot on my burner is. Clearly it's here, not over here. So we're going to switch these around. Just get these ones a little browner. Yes, I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, yeah, the unfortunate side effect of my stream is that you will quite often be hungry. Halfway through or at the end. And then meanwhile, by the time I'm done, I just look at it and I'm like, I can't. Except for the chicken the other day. I did, after I ended my stream, I went straight into the living room and finished that biscuit because it was fucking tasty. Okay. So, while we're letting these color a smidge more, I'm going to grab the tray and get the other ones that are ready to go off. Yeah. Yes, bring snacks. Bring snacks. That's definitely a good idea. Here. Oops. And I've lined it with foil because the foil is going to help A, keep my pan from getting all messy, and B, it's going to help them crisp up a little better rather than parchment. You could use parchment if you really wanted to, but I prefer the foil because it just has that heat conduction that gives you that little bit extra crisp. How are we doing here? See, now that they're okay, now that they're firm, I can handle my balls much better. But oh yeah, getting lots of good color on that. Just gonna get a little bit more on the bottom edge of here. Now, usually with a pork, you would only need to take it to about 155 internal, but since you do have the chicken, I'm gonna take it up to 165 just to be safe. That's what we're looking for on the inside. Golden brown and delicious, and rolling all over and getting heavy. These are heavy. Let's try it this way. Starting to get spitty here. Oops. It's flying all over the space. Perfect. Just gonna grab gloves so that I can put the other ones in there. Set those aside. Firm balls, yes, very firm balls. Okay.
$5 a month!
Oh my god, Nick, thank you! That's so kind of you, I appreciate that. Also, that alert is really freaking jarring, but I love it. And if anybody knows the history behind it, it's even funnier. Or the person who put it in. Aw, thanks, Tat. It's so far so good. So far so good. Just gonna get these last ones cooked up here. Why am I using my bare fingers for that? My god. Okay, that was bright. I don't know what possessed me to do that. It's kind of like every once in a while I'll take something out of the toaster oven and I'll put it out to flip it over, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just put it right back in with my bare hands. Jesus Christ. Alright. Yeah, those are good. Set these guys. Be careful now, they're starting to spit. Actually, just gonna move them over to the hotter part of my pan. And just gonna put my screen on. Screener's cheese and rice. How much have I had to drink? About that much. So, not enough. The balls are spitting. Oh, fuck. Ah! Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can just see Underground wanting this entire stream for... Oh, Jesus. Yeah. And the best part is that I don't even think about it when I'm saying it. It literally just comes straight out of my mouth, so that's always terrible and awesome at the same time. Is Underground furiously clipping that? I bet. I bet. I bet he's got that little clippy looking for it. Okay. Excellent. Oh yeah, these are... Whew. There we go. Yeah, these ones will go quicker because the pan was nice and hot. Firming up nicely, because you do want them to have a little bit of a bounce. Just comes out of my mouth. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yep. That's pretty much the story of my life. Don't ever say that again. You want the VOD? No. No. Although you do have my login, so I guess you could just get it if you wanted it, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna try and get this back to a family-oriented stream. Said no one ever. Okay. Perfect. Alright. Those actually are looking pretty good. I'd say another minute and we should be good. Matched up with the meat juice comment. Spitty balls and meat juice. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you come here for. Quality content. Right there. Spitty balls and meat juice. Okay. I think we are good to go here. So, actually I'm going to turn this pan off. And nestle these guys in nicely. And then we are going to pop them in the oven for about 10 minutes just to let them finish cooking through. Excellent. Okay. Got made those for now. What am I doing? What am I doing? I want to put those on top of this. I will eventually figure out what to do with my tongs. There we go. Okay, so into the oven for about 10 minutes at 350. I'm going to check them at the 10 minutes and make sure that they're 165 inside. And if they are, then we'll be good. Let's set a timer for that because I will forget. Put that on to keep it from splashing everywhere. Move this out of the way. And now we can get on with the next stuff. So, we've done the blondies, we've done the balls. Now, I think it is time for boiling some eggs because we need to have those cooked and cooled and peeled so that we can make our egg salad at the end here. Spitty juice, fuck off, really? Classic. Oh dear. Okay, so we are going to boil some eggs up here. And I know there's about a million different methods to boil eggs. Mine is probably the most simple because I don't see the point in making it much more difficult than it needs to be. F-bar. F-bar. Blondies and balls. Yeah. Alright. So, the way I do my eggs is I put them in my pot and then I cover them in cold water. So there's about an inch of water over top of them. And you want to start them in cold water because you want them to come up to temperature with the water. Now, I'm going to slide these on my burner. We're going to bring these babies to a boil. And once they're boiled, in a pot with water, boiling in water, yeah, exactly. You would be surprised. I don't know how many different stories I've seen on how people make their eggs. It's ridiculous. Like, it's actually really controversial. It's one of those things that people are passionate about how their eggs are made. And, yes, now you can yell at them because so far all of the ones I've used have worked. So these, we're just going to bring this to a boil, and considering the induction burner is pretty fantastic. Instant Pot hard-boiled eggs. I've had egg bites. I haven't actually hard-boiled mine in there. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I think I might try that. I just figured since it only takes a couple minutes to get it up to temperature on the induction burner, why not? And then I like to let mine sit for 11 minutes.
Hell yeah!
Before, like, I'm gonna, as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm gonna turn off the heat, take them off the heat, and let them sit for about 11 minutes. I find 9 to 10, you still have a little bit too much of a not set enough yolk for something like egg salad. But 12, you're running the risk of like that gray ring around the edge, so. Yeah, yeah, I've never had them, and now I'm going to try them. Now I'm going to cook all of the eggs, and then I'm going to make all of the egg things. I was actually going to make deviled eggs, but I couldn't find one that really appealed to me in a picnicky kind of sense that would be safe to actually like take somewhere when it's warm, and maybe not if you're not, you know, if you don't have a cooler or if you're not going to be eating for a while. Boiled eggs. So is that like, do you use pressure? The shell falls off. Yeah. Ah. Well, I'm gonna dunk mine in a bowl of ice water and let them sit there for about 15 minutes, and that should hopefully help. And how are we doing with the water boiling here? I'm not gonna watch the pot because as I'm looking at it on my screen just off to the side here, I'm like, are we boiling? Are we boiling yet? But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna put them in a bowl of ice water afterwards and let them sit, and that should hopefully help with the shell. So yeah, we're gonna find out today if this actually works or if it doesn't. The whole doing eggs on stream. I know the whole boiling thing works, and I know the ice water thing works. Whether I can get the shells off without getting deleted from Twitch. Pressure for 5-minute release. Nice. I will have to give that a try. There's a lot of... It's funny because like I'm constantly finding new things that people do with their Instant Pots that would never have occurred to me, and it just... after I hear about it, it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, why didn't I think of that? But another fun appliance I've got is I've actually got the Instant Pot blender, which is a cooking blender. So one of these days we'll bring that baby out. That'll be more of a fall thing though, when we're making soup. There's no gravy. Exactly. And no Swiss cheese either. And no cherries. And that should be pretty much tap safe. So, getting pretty close there. We do want it at a rolling boil. Ah, that in the Instant Pot. Oh, that sounds delicious. I love potato salad. Yes. Like I said, my whole aim today is to make sure that I don't kill anybody, which is why I'm doing a slightly different egg salad, which I have a feeling that Elizabeth's probably not going to be a total fan of, but that's okay. But yeah, no cherries, no Swiss cheese, no gravy. We're good. We're all good. Okay, we're getting pretty close here. And, the other thing, is when you're making hard-boiled eggs, the less fresh your eggs are, the easier they are to peel later too. So, and then I read this really cool thing. Well, I don't know if it's cool, I don't know if it's real, but people say that if you want your yolk centered in your egg when you boil it, you store your eggs upside down, so the pointy part down in your fridge, so that the yolk sort of settles, like rises to the middle, which I think is really weird, but it makes sense. I haven't tried it. These eggs were stored the normal way in the carton, so who knows? Make them room temp. Should you make them room temp? The eggs, yes, definitely. It just helps them incorporate better. There are some things that cold eggs are good for. If you want to separate your eggs, cold eggs separate better. But if you're whipping your egg whites into meringues, let them come to room temperature. They whip up better at room temperature. Same thing with baking with eggs, whole eggs, or just the whites or just the yolks. They incorporate much more easily and make a much more homogeneous batter if you let them come to room temperature. Okay, I think we are almost there. Yeah. And that's okay. You know what? If you don't like Swiss, you don't like Swiss. How are we doing here? 2 minutes on the meatballs. And pretty close on the eggs here. And then we should be good to go. And then after that, we are going to get started on our hummus. Or maybe we'll do the flatbreads first. You know what? Let's see. Okay, are my eggs dancing? My eggs are dancing, and that's how I know my water is boiling enough. Is because you can hear the eggs on the bottom of the pot. Okay. A couple more. This one is slightly more aggressively boiling. How are we doing here for steam? Yes, the cheese doesn't want to give all of itself to you, so if it's oh no! Oh no! It's the why don't you like this? And in this corner, Dat, and this corner, Nick. All right, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna cover it, move it off to the side here, and we're gonna let these sit for about 11 minutes. I should turn on a timer because I will forget that if I do not. All right, so balls are done, eggs are boiled. Let's get to the next fun part of the day, which is going to be our yogurt. Oh, yeah, I can understand if you got sick off something. I would definitely not be able to. There are things that I just can't even look at. I know that. What is it that I can't eat? I can't think of it right now, but yeah, there's something that's just no, can't do it. I can't. Even the thought of it is like, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so we are going to head on to the yogurt flatbreads now, which are like super, super simple. It's literally 3 ingredients. No, we're not going to move on to that. We're actually going to go check on the meatballs. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. Oh, let's get my thermometer out here. Just gonna grab some of my eggs so I can put my pan on the stove. All of the dishes, all of the places. Put that over there. Oh yeah, I can't do bananas either. Cannot do bananas. Poking my meatballs with my cake stick is not going to help me determine if they're cooked through. Oh, check these out. Oh my gosh. They smell so good. I'm going to try and find the biggest ball and stab it. That'll sort of be our 5. Perfect. Just going to stab another one just because it's brushing out and I'm good at it. We're good through. A little cool in the center. Let me get let's do this one. Yeah, you know what? These need a couple more minutes. I just on the safe side. I'd rather have them slightly okay, now it's okay. Let's do one more. I'm just gonna stab all of them until I get the answers I want. Pretty much. But it's funny, I can eat banana bread. I don't mind banana bread, but I cannot eat just plain bananas. It's the texture. Like, I don't mind the flavor, but the texture just bugs me. I'm gonna put these back in for about 5 minutes just to be 100% certain that these are edible. But I think 5 minutes should definitely hit the right temperature. So I'll get that going, which will give me enough time to start back in on the flatbreads. And I'm going to grab a bowl. And I think I need a bigger one than the one I originally had intended. So I'm just going to grab one. Sorry guys. There'll be a little bit of noise here. Need to. Perfect. Okay. So, yeah. Oh yeah. So much amazing barbecue is pork. Agreed. Agreed. Okay, so we need scale for this. Like I said, this is super, super simple. It is a cup of flour. Now this recipe is actually using a slightly different weight amount for it, so I'm gonna go with what the recipe says, but we'll see. Because she's saying 142 grams is her cup here, and I'm like, I'm used to 128 grams, so We'll go with 142 because that's what they said. They, in quotation marks here. And see how that works. I don't think you can really go wrong with this. As long as you have enough leavener in it, you should be fine. So we are at 142. Perfect. Okay. And to that, we're going to add some baking powder. Now, I've seen recipes where this is made with all self-raising flour, but I'm not really familiar with the self-raising flour here, and I know that it's different here than it is in Britain, so I prefer using all-purpose and then adding leaveners rather than taking my chances with self-raising, because I have tried self-raising before, like just Milk Barn, and it gave me results that I wasn't super thrilled with. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and as I look back and I'm like, wait, did I put in baking soda? No, we're good. I'm just gonna grab whisk, give that a bit of a stir around, and it's out of the way. Or she give me a 225 grams of yogurt. She says it's about a cup, so I'm just gonna measure that. And I'm using regular Balkan style. This has no gelatin in it. Oh, yeah. Well, and then the chashu that I make for my chashu baos. Yum. Yum, yum. Need to use full fat with this. This is not health food, but with so few ingredients, the one, bit of yogurt is full fat yogurt. And this is 6% milk fat. You could probably get away with a 3 if you can find it. It's really hard. I don't know if I'd necessarily go with a 14% like I've seen out there, which blows my mind. So let's measure this here. And because she says that it isn't necessarily going to need it all, you want it to come to a certain consistency, so we'll put most of it in and then we can add more if we need to. We'll get it measured out and ready to go here, the entire cup. It's kind of in between in humidity in here. I don't think my flour would be particularly hydrated just because I keep it in an airtight container, so I don't think I should have a problem with that, but you never know. So, and it'll definitely depend on the humidity that you're dealing with, so let's put that out of the way. I'm just gonna grab a spatula. It's kind of funny that the red one broke earlier, because honestly I figured it would be this one that would break first, because it's starting to get like little chunks out of it and like it's all beaten up. This is my absolute favorite spatula in the entire universe, and I know that's really weird to have a favorite kitchen tool, but this is my favorite. Oh, this is my favorite spatula, and we're gonna go check those balls again before I get into the flatbreads. Let's see here. All right. Ooh. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. That was a spicy face full of steam too. There we go. Let's hope that these are done so I can turn the oven off. That would be delightful. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, okay, excellent. Those are done, so we're just gonna let those cool. And then you can, if you want to skewer them, you can skewer them and present them that way. I personally don't really care one way or the other. I am going to get my ice water ready for my eggs first. So I've just got some ice in the freezer here. Because if it wasn't in the freezer, it would be water. I know. And I'm just going to Sorry, this might make a bit of a noise. Just grabbing my bowl here. Oops. Apparently it's not ice water, it's freaking glacier in there, but I'm not going to fight with trying to get it broken apart, so it's as long as the water is cool and you still have some pieces of ice in there. I'm just going to add a little bit more, because the water coming out of my tap isn't that cool. Perfect. Iceberg, yeah, it's pretty much an iceberg. It's weird how, like, it all, when you get it, it's all nice and separated, but as soon as you get it into your home freezer, things go bizarre and you end up with, like, complete blocks that you can't do anything with. Okay, so, random pieces here. So we're going to start adding the yogurt into the flatbread mix. I guess that I'm going to do it a bit at a time because I might not need it all, but it's easier to add rather than take away. So we're just going to start combining that. And you just want it to come into like a shaggy dough that when you start kneading it together, it's going to eventually be, you know, dough consistency. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to need more. So, add a bit more to keep stirring that. Yeah, actually, she may have been right. I may not need all of that. Fascinating. I'm actually going to get my hand in there in a second. Oh, yeah. I may not need all of that. Okay. The more you know. Okay, yeah, because you do want it kind of sticky. You don't want it to, because you are going to use flour as you're rolling it out. Okay, so I'm going to take my eggs out of the pot and dump them in. I don't know whether this can would be better for it or not. Yeah, probably. Alright, so let's slide that lid off. And a bigger spoon. Slide these in the ice water. Perfect. Not quite sure why I'm draining them and putting right back into water, but okay. There we go. Excellent. Okay, these babies are good. A bit of a stir there, and we're gonna leave them in for about 15 minutes to cool through completely. So, there we go. Get back to the bread. Okay, so I'm actually gonna dust my hands with a little bit of flour here just to see how we're doing. Maybe I'm gonna, I don't need that. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, okay. No, I'm thinking of a glove instead. I think that'll just be easier. Probably not, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so slide that off. We're just gonna start. Oh my god, that is so startling. It's awesome that I can hear them now, but it's still completely startling. You know what? I almost think that this needs a little more flour, to be fair. I'm thinking it might be just a smidge too wet. You know what? We're just going to start from scratch because I don't want to start playing with it and getting the proportions out. So we're just going to make another bowl and do it that way. we'll just start over again. That's the beauty of the fact that this is a really easy recipe, is that it's quick to try again. So, this time I am going to probably use my hand to combine it. Really get a feel for it. So maybe it is more humid in here than I thought. Okay. Oops. There we go. 42. And back with the teaspoons of the baking powder. Oh, Jade, good to see you. Welcome in. Oh, everybody. Jade is a fabulous friend from down under. Please give her a follow. She also does a cooking stream live from Melbourne. And make sure while you're there, follow her husband, Mr. Relax, as well. He is a fantastic happy hardcore DJ. So glad to see you. I'm so happy you're here. You've just caught me in the middle of picnic time. We are doing picnic-based foods. We did some meatballs. We're doing an egg salad that we just finished making the eggs for. Right now we're doing some yogurt. Flatbreads. The first ones, I added too much of the yogurt, so we're starting all over again. And yeah, and then we're going to make some hummus. And what was that first thing? Oh, and I made blondies to start. I'm like, what did I do I'm like, I know I've done something already. Okay, so I am going to get my yogurt back here. And like I said, I think I'm going to do it by... yeah, I'm going to grab another cup here because I'm going to do it a half a cup at a time. Oh, that's my third. Let's try half. And as you can see, I've got pretty much everything. Aw, I'm so glad you did too. Okay, so it says a cup. We're going to start with a half because I'm a little leery after the first one that was a bit much. So we're going to start with the half. And hopefully that'll go a little better. Because we want sort of a craggy dough. No worries, Jade. He clipped it all. So, you know the internet. Everything lives forever on the internet. So, yeah. How did your risotto go? I saw your post that you were going live, but unfortunately, with our time zone differences, I was fast asleep. But risotto sounds delightful, and it also sounds like it just makes me think of MasterChef and the Death Dish. So, I'm hoping it went swimmingly for you. Also, just, you know what, for nothing else, just watch Jade's channel because she's so sweet and so nice and has an epic kitchen. Spitty balls meat juice. Damn it! Okay. Anybody else want to be a mod? Anyone? Bueller? Okay, so this is closer to what we were looking for. I'm going to add just a smidge at a time now. I'm actually going to get in there with... Oh, that's awesome. I'm super happy to hear that. I love when things come out properly. I've had some epic successes, but I've also had some pretty fantastic failures. Like, we won't talk about Piegate, because I live in a house that is very, 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 well, it's an apartment and it's extremely hot. But All Better Pastry did not work. Thanks for the hydrate. Yeah, it's starting to get hot in here. I'm glad the oven is off now. Okay, so I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to add just a smidge more at a time, and I'm actually going to get in there with my hand because I don't want to overdo it. Like that last one was just a little too sticky. Okay. Let's see how we go here. Yeah, I think this is going to be much more successful, which is definitely what we're looking for. We're definitely not looking for failures on this because you want it to come together like you would in any other kind of dough. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's much better. So apparently it is pretty humid in here. I'm just going to give this a couple more turns. Ah, yeah. I know. I I've actually seen people like work in their fridges, and I'm like, I need to just have a walk-in cooler to do it. So that's the texture we're looking for. I'm happy with that because we are going to use a little bit more flour to roll it out. Yeah, okay. So that is good. Let's just try not to leave all of it on my gloves. And then we are going to get to rolling, and we are going to get to cooking. That's the best part, is it doesn't take very long. Excellent. All right. Yeah, everything in here is super hot. Just going to slide this out of the way. I'm just going to slide that back into the fridge because it shouldn't be sitting out for too much longer. Clear some room here. Seem to have accumulated. I have everything all nicely laid out when I start, and then it just seems to accumulate in a pile near the end. I'm going to grab my mat. Ah, yes. Oh God. I can imagine. Because yeah, you guys have the opposite weather. You guys are in winter right now, hey? And Melbourne gets pretty cool in comparison to some other places because you guys are at the southern end, correct? I'm thinking. Most of my knowledge comes from watching MasterChef Australia about seasons and what things are like, so you'll have to forgive me if I've got that completely wrong. Okay, so I've got my mat here, and I'm just going to put some flour down. Just get this out onto the mat. And just going to work it around a little bit. A little extra flour. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad. Oh God, sunburn in the shade. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, summer is my favorite. We've been having a relatively lousy one right now. Like, our weather has just been going back and forth. We get really rainy, miserable days, and then we get a couple beautiful days. Like today's like, oh yeah. I am lucky. My dad is from Fiji, so I've got that little bit in me, so I tan quite well. And I am a heat freak. Like, we had a heat wave last year, and I was very, very happy about it. And I was one of the few. Just gonna flour my hands. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Nice and elastic. Oh, it's still a little sticky. I'm just gonna give a little bit more. Ah, yes. Yeah, no. Well, my mom is Scottish, Irish, so there's that. But yeah, I got the skin tone and the love of heat from my dad for sure. Okay, there. Perfect. A nice ball. Everything is balls today. I've just realized that. We've got balls of dough, we've got meatballs. Okay. Check out that texture. Happy with that. A little springy, but not too much. It's still a little bit sticky, but that's okay. We're going to be rolling them out, so we'll add a little bit more flour to them anyways. I'm going to cut this into 6. Try and get the excess off my hands before I start rooting around for my pastry cutter. And goes, so chop, and then chop, chop. Try and get them as even as you possibly can, obviously. Yeah. Burn and peel, yeah. See, and I do burn. Like, I have burned. It takes a fair bit for me to burn. And well, that's not true. Sometimes the first, like, long day in the sun in the summer, I will end up burnt. But for the most part, I just go straight to tan, so not too bad. Yeah. Ah, yes. We call it olive too, so we know exactly what you're talking about here. All right, so get a little more flour down, and I'm just gonna dry my hand off because I'm gonna end up wearing that. Have you always lived in Melbourne? Jade? I think I've asked you that before and I can't remember. So let's get these made into balls. Yeah, a couple of these are bigger than the others, but just like a... Ah, okay. Really? Interesting. I wonder. Now I need to do research. Now I need to go read about that and find out, because that is very, very interesting to me. Almonds. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to nuts, so that would just kill me. I would get the opposite of tan. I would get dead. But that would be really interesting for people who wouldn't die from it. Okay, so let's get these babies rolled. And we want to go fairly thin because we want to want them big, nice and puffy, and just keep fighting with them. Like they're gonna be a little bit stubborn at first. So nuts, balls, totally TOS cooking. Yes, yeah. Okay, this guy's really sticky. Just gonna flour a little bit more. We do want to get it fairly thin. This guy's pretty tiny, so. There's balls for everybody here. That's really cool. I'm gonna read about that because I want to know more. I'm definitely interested now. So let's just get this all floured up here. Thinking I probably should have used a slightly smaller pin, but we are committed. Just gonna let it go. Kind of want to make it sort of roundish, ovalish. Just flat. Flat is what I'm going for right now. You know, you see flatbreads like naans and whatever, and they're not perfect, so that's okay. We're gonna go with the every shape is beautiful. There we go. And I can see through to my mat, which means nice. Amazon sells them, and it is one of the best things I have ever bought in my entire life. It is like it has all the measurements on it. It's got the rings. It's got the temperatures, the cup measurements, and it can go in the dishwasher. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, nice. That's really cool. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, 50 minutes on the train. It's kind of a nice, relaxing time. Okay, so actually, I've got my food processor lurking in the background here, and I think I have to move him because I need a little bit of room. Then we're just gonna slide him out of the way, and we are going to grab the pan. We're gonna start cooking while we roll out the rest. And these go into a dry pan and about medium heat, so I'm gonna have it on 4. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. It's always nice to be able to relax and enjoy. This should heat up pretty quick. So, oh yeah, I'm happy with that. And these will only take a couple minutes. Oops. As I wreck it by folding it. So. Okay, that's my egg timer, so I'm gonna turn that off. You know what? They won't suffer for sitting in the water for that much longer, so I'm just gonna let that go. I'm starting to pull back here. Oh dear, that was probably ill-advised. Was not thinking I should have floured that before I did that. Let's try that again. Give it a little bit of a shake so that the pin doesn't stick. Oh, thank you. We're doing stuff that I have never done before. I like to fly by the seat of my pants sometimes on here. Sometimes I do the stuff that I'm really comfortable with and know like the back of my hand, and other times like today we're just gonna wing it because why not? Why not? Okay, I need to really stop just trying to use the rolling pin on this because it's clearly not working. Okay. How are we here? Oh yeah, that's good and warm. We're just gonna flip this baby on the pan and just let it do its thing. Shouldn't take too long. actually going to turn it down to 3. And while we're doing that, we can start rolling out the next ones. And basically what you're looking for it to do is to get brown on the bottom. One of these days, I'm going to remember to flour my pin. Yeah, it's just sort of, you know what, it's just sort of a, let's try everything. You know what, I'm going to grab some parchment because clearly the flour is not working for me today, and we're going to be here all night if I continue trying to roll like that. Oh, check me out. Starting to get some bubbles here. Let me show you this. I'm just going to move this out of the way so I can slide the burner over. Because this is the part you really want to see. So starting to get the bubbles there. Just going to take a peek. Starting to get, you can feel it firming up. And we're just going to wait until it gets nice and brown. And yeah. How are we doing here? Just going to grab a flipper. Because I would use tongs, but that would just be dumb. Because I am terrible with tongs. And see. There. Yeah, it should just be a couple minutes on each side and we should be good to go. So, while that is cooking away, I'm going to roll out a couple more. And then we'll get to the eggs. Let's grab the parchment here.
No!
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, are you trying to give me a heart attack? You just figured I hadn't had enough excitement for 5 minutes and needed to change that. Okay, yeah, this is definitely going to go much better this way. So, okay.
Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah? Ah! Shit!
Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's turning out much better. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, I'm not getting the color I want on that as quickly as I'd like. So I think I might actually grab a little bit of oil and just give it a bit of a darker color. Some little, yeah. Ooh, that guy's super thin. Woo! Okay, somebody got aggressive. Wow. 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 Okay. Well, that's much better though. I'm happy with the thinness there. Actually, you know what? I've got a really nice chili oil that I think I'm going to use just to maybe encourage it to get a little more brown. Although it is coming. It is definitely coming. Like, starting to get the spots. There we go. Yeah, I'll give it another minute. Oh, thanks, Jade. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy you came by. And like I said, everybody, if you're not following Jade, please do. Make sure you also follow Mr. Relax. He's super awesome, super fun to watch too. And yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate you coming by. And hope everything goes well at the vet. And yeah. Hearts. I'm terrible at heart hands, but we're going to try them. No. Yeah, we're going to go this. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with the color on that. I'm just going to let it get the same amount of color on the other side. And then we will finish the rest of them. So, I'm only going to worry about 2 right now. I'm not going to do all of them. You can also get them to this point and then just put them in a plastic bag and put them in the fridge. Yeah, exactly. The vet is always the fun part. You never can tell. But yeah, if you manage to get back, great. And if not, thank you so much. And I hope I see you again soon. And I will definitely try and catch you soon. Yeah, so you can get them to this point and then just pop them in a plastic bag and you can stuff them in the freezer. They will freeze and then you can just take them out and let them defrost for a little bit and then cook them straight from there. So this guy still needs a little bit longer. I'm actually going to grab some plastic wrap to do as I said with that. Okay. As I want to start in on the eggs so that we can get some egg salad and some hummus. So let's slide these guys out of the way. And I'll put them in a plastic bag later and then I can put them in the freezer. Or I might cook them up later too. And that could definitely happen. Okay, we're almost there on that color. I'm going to slide this stuff out of the way. And we are going to move that aside. Now we're going to try peeling eggs and see how that goes, because it could be quite interesting. Okay, so we're getting there. Probably another minute or so. You know what? I could probably put the heat up. Yeah, but they're still really nice and pliable, so I'm happy about that, which is what you want at the end. Because sometimes if they're a little too not wet enough, they tend to get brittle and they crack. So definitely don't want that. Just gonna give it a bit more of a pop, and you also want it to be cooked through too, so I am happy with that. I'm gonna slide that off, and I'm actually just gonna cover it with a tea towel because keep that moisture in there. And then we're gonna get this last one on there. There we go. Perfect. And oh, you can see it's bubbling up right away. I think that first one may have been just a smidge too thick. So I am loving the bubbles. Loving the bubbles. That is exactly what we were hoping for. So go, and as I say, I'm going to cover it with a tea towel and then completely forget 3 seconds later. So, and I would do that with any kind of flatbread tortilla. Wrap it in a tea towel just to keep the moisture in. Ooh, check this guy out. I think we have an alien. We may have an alien. Just gonna give it a check underneath. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I think that other one was just a smidge too thick, so yeah. I'm like, oh, E7. What? What is an E7? Oh. Oh, has it been on for too long? There we go. Apparently I shouldn't have done the angel sound until, oh, there we go. How are we doing here? Oh, yes. Well, I'm liking the color on that anyway, so that actually worked out pretty well. I'm like, I don't know what an E7 is. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's just too hot. Of course it is. That would be... I don't know what that is. Okay, we're going to turn it off for a minute. And it's a good thing I only wanted to cook one more of these, because apparently my pan doesn't want to cooperate. That's unfortunate, because it was doing... Okay, we're just going to try and force it to do the last little bit. Come on, baby, you know you want to. And I was going to do chili oil, but that's not happening. No. Alrighty, this guy I think has had enough. That's okay. It's actually cooked through. It doesn't have those nice brown spots on it, mostly because of the fact that there's a giant lump in the middle, so... Okay. Yeah. Alright, at least it's cooked. So we're going to slide that off. We're going to take the burner out of the way because apparently it's just had enough for today, which is weird. I've never had that kind of issue with it, but I guess every once in a while it just gives up, and that's okay. So I'm going to slide this somewhere out of the way here so that got that. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Oh yeah. Actually, I think it is a little too... You know what? I bet it's because it's really hot in here and it's gotten a little too hot, so that's cool. We know for next time. So we've got the flatbreads done. We've got the meatballs done. We've got the blondies done. I've been sort of, you know, not looking forward to doing the eggs, but let's see how this goes. So they've been in the water. And now, actually, do this. I'm actually gonna take them out and dry them. And the bowl. Slide here. This should be very interesting. Actually, you know what? To be honest, I usually don't have trouble peeling eggs too much. Like sometimes you end up with a chunk out of it, but since this is going into an egg salad, it really doesn't matter if you end up with a little chunk out of it. I think the most important thing is just making sure you don't end up with shell in it. Okay, so this can make its way to the side. Just gonna clear some stuff out of the sink here too. All the dishes. All the dishes. There we go. Okay. Back to the task at hand. Let's peel some eggs and get some egg salad going here. And I'm just gonna grab a bowl here. And I'm gonna give it a good crack. Actually, I'm gonna do this on a mat because I like to sort of give mine a rub like that. Then we're just going to fail miserably at getting the shells off. No, it's gonna go well. It's gonna go well. I'm already feeling not so optimistic about this. Oh yeah, okay. So maybe this isn't going to go quite as well as I'd hoped, but like I said, it's for egg salad, so the most important thing is getting the shell off. Not exactly worried about what the egg itself looks like. It's gonna get chopped up. I knew you'd find a way to get that emote in here at least once, Underground. I know you love that one. Okay, so that wasn't too bad, other than the fact that it's got a crack in it, so. But yeah, not too bad. Okay. Round 2. I don't know why. I don't know why I slammed it like I was going to do it like it was raw. Not quite sure. Have I tried the blowing method? For getting eggs out of the shell when they're raw? No, I have not. I've seen it done. Okay. Oh, this is much prettier. Okay, this is actually going way better than I was expecting it was going to. So. Much nicer. I'm not touching the comment. Yeah. Apparently giving it a good slam didn't hurt it, so do that and fill your eggs. That could be the next OnlyFans page. For shelling boiled eggs. No, I haven't. That's actually... I'm interested now. I'd love to hear more about that, because... No, I've never heard of that. I've only ever seen the smash and pray. And then, you know, you end up with what I'm getting right now, which is not too bad. Not too bad, so... Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna leave that last one because I actually only need 4 for this recipe, but I wasn't gonna leave one egg in the full container because I made the mistake of leaving an egg loose out of the carton once, and yeah, I had to move the fridge to fix that mistake, so that won't be happening. But yeah, I only need 4 for this recipe, so I'm just gonna toss that, and then I'm just gonna give them a rinse because they are a little, kind of few little shells on them, so just give them a quick run under the water, and then we will get to making some salad. Smash it then. Page not found. Oh, jeez. Smash it, then remove a piece of shell, then blow in the part that you removed like a balloon, and it. Really? Huh. That's fascinating. I would never have thought to do that. So, yeah. I definitely. Well, now I just want to do all of the egg blowing. I really shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay, let's try this again. So now we're going to start in on the egg salad. Now, this one's different than most as it has no mayonnaise in it, which means that it will be safe to take outdoors, and if it doesn't get eaten right away, it will not poison you. Well, if it sits in hot sun, it's not. Huh. Peel the bottom, make a hole in the top, and blow it. That's fascinating. Okay, now I'm disappointed I didn't hear about that before I started the stream. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but yeah, I will definitely have to give that a try. I might try that with the last unpeeled one that I've got, maybe not on stream. So I have my 4 eggs that I'm just gonna roughly chop. You can also grate them. I don't see the point in grating them. It sounds. I think if you want to mess up your grater, that's cool on stream. Content. Okay. Well, let's make some salad here first, and then we will get to the egg blowing because I'm gonna have to reread how to do that. Okay, so I've just got these, and I like these yolks are this kind of set I like. They're not like super chalky, but they're not like almost runny, so yeah, that's kind of exactly how I wanted them. And they don't have that gray tinge around the edge, because I know there's nothing wrong with them with the gray tinge, but I just don't like eating gray food like that, so. But yeah, and the less chalky, the better. So. Okay. And we're just gonna give them a good rough chop here. Now, I need to read that instructions again. Peel the bottom, make a hole in the top, and blow out the egg. Now I'm starting to think I'm getting punked. Okay. So, we're just about done here. We're just gonna get these last big chunks. If you've got a few bigger chunks, it's not that big a deal. And I'm happy with that. Get those into the bowl. Oh yeah, I'm like my skeptical self when underground is involved. If it were just Tat that said something about it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can totally see that. Now that underground is excited about it, I'm kind of like, But no, I actually saw try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Oh my god, make an air pocket around, not blow out the egg. Make an air pocket around the egg. Oh, okay. So, at the bottom? Okay, so. You take out the bottom part, yes? Am I doing this right? Because now I'm curious now. I need to do it. Okay. I'm like, I'm relying on my instant Googles, which are you guys. Okay. Oh, okay. Not blow it. They make an air pocket around the ice. So what? Use your finger and tap the whole shell to break it. What? Okay, so I've got the bottom out. Make an air pocket around the ice. Okay. And then, what are you talking about? Did I do the wrong side? I think shouldn't it be this small? You would figure that it would. And why am I'm just realizing that why am I putting my mouth on this egg? Like, it's like smashing the shell. Okay, this is different. Yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to end up being a clip as opposed to anything. Okay, so let's see here. So I've done this. Is that right, Underground? Because like I've taken the bottom off. And correct. Okay, now what? Make an air pocket around the egg and the shell peels right off. So do I like this? Like so weird. What? Blow the egg like a balloon. Okay. That's not doing anything. That's literally not doing anything except giving me the exact same reaction I have with balloons. Okay, now crack the shell. Yeah, that did absolutely nothing. Except, oh, okay, okay. Okay. Alright, that eggshell here is not terrible. It's not going to come off in all one piece, but okay. I don't think that's necessarily a better way of doing it, but now, yeah, no, because pretty much all that. Okay, you know what? There we go. There we go. Okay, so that one. Well, now it's peeled. I'm just gonna grab that, but I can't see that being more efficient than any other method. I guess if you got good at it, you'll have to show me. Yeah, because I honestly, like, I'm desperately trying to visualize what you're telling me, and clearly I was getting it wrong. Okay. Okay. The Instant Pot eggs. You know what? Maybe. Might be just, Well, now I'm gonna go and buy eggs and try all of the eggs, because, yeah, now I'm curious. Okay, so now that we've completely gone off track, we're gonna go back to our egg salad. And to make this picnic friendly, we are actually going to, instead of mayonnaise, we're going to be using avocado as our creamy element. So I'm going to start with half an avocado, and then we'll see how we're going. If we need more, we can always add more. Oh, why are you not? There we go. I'm just going to scoop this because it's just going to get mashed in, so don't need to be too... Now you want boiled eggs. Yeah. So, yeah, you're just going to mash this in along with your eggs, so you don't need to be too delicate with it. You know what? I'm going to use the whole avocado because this is a pretty small one. Considering they're called large avocados, I'm thinking that's false advertising because this is not particularly large. So, there we go. In the pool, and I'm just gonna grab my little masher here and get those combined. And this is gonna give you that creaminess without having the mayo aspect of it. Plus, avocado is delicious and be technically better for you, so there's that too. Yeah. Now I'm remembering the reason I don't boil eggs all that often, and it's because I love the way they taste. I'm just not a big fan of the smell. Okay, so I'm happy with that texture. As you can see, it's pretty nice and mushy there, but not like it hasn't taken the life out of the eggs. So from there, I'm going to add just a couple extra things. I'm going to add some celery. Don't need a whole lot. I'm actually only going to use 1 stalk. And a little bit of carrot, just to give it some crunch, because if there's one thing that egg salad quite often suffers from, it's textural problems. So I'm just going to remedy that with a little bit of celery and carrot. Now you can dice if you want, or you can leave them sliced. I'm going to cut them into slightly smaller pieces because I kind of want all of my bits and pieces to be fairly even. And you can peel your celery if you want. This is not MasterChef. I am not. Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, no. Unfortunately, removing the mayo does nothing of the sort, but it does make it easier to eat the whole bowl if you'd like, so there are some bonuses to it. Just gonna slightly run my knife through these, make smaller pieces. You know what, I'm gonna add, actually no, I'm gonna add my carrot first and then I'll see if I need a little bit more. I'm also gonna add a little Dijon for a kick. And I'm going to add some paprika because eggs can take it. And also definitely some salt and some pepper because eggs definitely need salt. Okay, I'm happy with that. Onion, yeah, you know what, Elizabeth? I'm actually going to use green onion because I don't really want that really hot, fiery white onion that I use for the meatballs in my salad. If it were milder, I would definitely use the white one. But since and look at me reusing ingredients. This is part of that gigantic carrot I had from the other day. So we're going to give it a peel. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Go. And chop off what I need. Oops. Slide that out of the way. Get the Bernie carrot in here. Yeah, I can't call these anything but Bernie carrots. They're jumbo carrots, but because my mother uses them for dog food and their dog's name is Bernie, we call them Bernie carrots. Now these you have to be a little more picky with because carrots don't, obviously, your knife isn't going to cut through them like celery would, so unless you have a super great knife. So we're gonna go sort of small dice here. If you wanted to, you could probably do these in the handy chopper too. I did not think to take mine out before I started stream, and it's in a cupboard that I can't access when I'm on stream, so yeah, definitely should have thought of that one sooner. Yeah, I think this should be enough. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add any more celery. I think we should be good with what I got for carrot and celery. And yeah, no, pretty much Bernie carrot. These will forever be Bernie carrots. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I think they should just rename them in the store. I think more people would buy them if they were called Bernie carrots, to be fair. I think people see these and they're like, oh, these are really bad carrots. These jumbo carrots are actually really tasty. Which I was surprised about because I figured they would be sort of woody and dry. But no, they're just really big carrots and they taste just as good as little carrots. What? Oh, really? Are you listening to house music while modding? So, hey, underground. Eyes here. Not on terrible house music. Okay, and we're going to finish off with some green onion. I'm going to put a couple in there. Look at how nice these look today. The ones I got the other day were almost white. Maybe. Yeah, busted. Busted! And I've never been a fan of that song anyways, so the fact that it's being resurrected in somewhere else is just, cringe. But That's just my opinion. I'm not a big. I don't do country music. Doesn't matter if she's Canadian. I just don't do country music. So, these are quick rinse. Is that in the music from the downloads, or is that something you? I'm assuming you didn't buy it. I'm assuming it was in today's downloads. So that's so weird. But you know what? I'm finding that's happening a lot. Like in the Happy Hardcore streams that I listen to. So many of those DJs are playing like hardcoreified downloads from Monday. Hardcoreified versions of like country songs and pop top 40. They're Disney songs. Like I've heard that Let It Go at 170, 180 BPM. So I don't think anything's off limits at this point. And, which is kind of sad. Because there are some things, and then there are some really terrible 80s songs that just keep reappearing. Well, they're not, it's not that they're terrible 80s songs, it's just sometimes you get really tired of hearing them, like Don't Stop Believin'. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but it's just, you know, there's only so many times you can hear it before you're like, okay, and only so many versions of it before you're like, Aloha, good to see you, fam. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great day. Are you back home or are you still in Kelowna? Because I've been looking at those Instagram photos and I am jealous of the gorgeous scenery and the beautiful weather. So, just gonna get a little bit more here. All right, those are in. Ah, nice. I love how you're always all over the place. I'm living vicariously through you, Aloha. Like between Sacramento and Vancouver and Kelowna, and yeah, I'm like, please travel and let me watch. And because I don't want my, well, I'm gonna put the Dijon in first, and then because I don't want my avocado browning, I'm actually gonna add some lime juice too. Plus, that'll help the flavor. So I'm gonna give it a bit of a stir here. And we're gonna go for I'm gonna go for a generous scoop. And yeah, exactly. Tad. Yes, agreed. Go for a little more generous. There we go. Okay, so we've got our carrots, our celery, our green onions, our avocado, our Dijon. I'm gonna put a squeeze of lime in there. And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I am looking forward to that. I just hope the weather decides to be on the today kind of tip and not what we've had lately. Okay, so a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. And just need to constantly be rinsing all the things off my hands, and then I'm just gonna grab a little bit of hot paprika. If I can pry this jar with this spoon. Of course not. That would be too easy. And yeah, weather, fingers crossed, no kidding. But, and the thing is the forecast changes 5 times a day, so it's not like you can go, oh, look 5 days down the road and be like, oh, this is great. Okay, so I've got some hot paprika in there. And this is the shit. I love this stuff. So yeah, I got it at Italian Center. So if you're nearby and you're looking for some hot paprika, definitely pick this guy up. It's delightful. What's for dinner? We are doing picnic food today. We did some flatbreads. We did some meatballs. We're doing an egg salad right now that's picnic friendly. So yeah, exactly. I have a golf umbrella. We're doing a picnic-friendly egg salad that has no mayo in it. It's using avocado instead for the creamy element. We made some flatbreads. We made some blondies. And after I'm done this, we are going to make some hummus. And then we will be ready to take this show outside. Well, okay, tomorrow. And the best part is everything I'm making will actually be better the next day. So I'm going to let that all meld. I'm just going to grab some salt. And for this one, I'm actually going to use kosher salt. And because I think the smoked salt would overwhelm the flavor. So we're just going to go for a pinch and mix it all together, see how we're doing. And of course, some pepper. Never have too much of that either. Slide my lime out of the way. And all we need to do is just give it a good stir. And we should be good. I love that it's got that crunchy element to it. And the paprika will give it that little bit of heat. And I've never made it with avocado before, so I'm actually really excited to taste this. Yes, exactly. This is definitely making stuff to be eaten tomorrow. And I sort of wanted to make sure that everything I made will taste better tomorrow. So I'm actually going to grab a spoon and try that because I want to make sure the seasoning's on point. Give it a good old bonsai bite here. You know what? Screw mayo. I'll take that any day. And I'm going to add a little bit more pepper, though. It could use that kind of heat, but damn. I'm impressed with that. You won't miss the mayo, I promise. If you're a mayo-based person, you definitely will not miss it. So just give that a stir, and that will definitely taste better tomorrow. So, because it'll have all that time to meld. And that lime juice just adds that little bit of acidity to cut through. Because eggs are rich, avocado's rich, so you can add a little more lime juice too. What did I do? That acidity in there. That should be perfect. There we go. And a smidge more salt. That's the best part, is you can sort of do it as you bits and pieces, so. Just won't put my limey fingers back in the salt. Okay. Now, it is time for the last, but definitely not least, piece of this picnic. We are going to make some hummus. The best part about this hummus is you make it with canned chickpeas. So you don't have to worry about soaking them and then boiling them and then doing all that fun stuff. This is the super simple way of getting hummus in your face super quick. Just gonna I'm trying to give myself more room and I'm just making more mess. I'm not quite sure how that's happening. So first off, I'm just gonna grab my ingredients here, and it's really simple. Like, you don't have to have a whole lot of stuff. It's literally chickpeas, tahini, which is just sesame paste. Actually, I need to get this out of the sink because I need to drain the chickpeas. And then some oil, some seasoning, and you can pretty much dress it up however you want. I like to go spicy, surprise, surprise. So I'm gonna add some hot pepper in there. And I'm also going to, Paul's facial pulling, you guys know, hummus in the face. Yes, we are going to get some hummus in your face. And the best part is it can be done in the food processor. So, I need to move things out of the way here. Let's try it. If you could see my dishes, you would understand that my stacking abilities are terrible. I'm just going to some of this stuff out of the way. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to drain our chickpeas. And you don't need to worry about rinsing them. You can if you want, dirty girl. Yeah, Mom. It's not that bad. I'm just gonna dump them into... You can save the liquid the chickpeas come in. It's called aquafaba. And people actually use it to make vegan meringues. I've never tried that because I've never had enough of it, but it works brilliantly apparently. So I am going to save a little bit of it when I'm draining this. So I'm going to grab a bowl start the process, and then we don't need it all. But it's really thick, and it helps. Got that ability to whip up beautifully. It's got that same sort of albumin type quality that egg whites would have. Oh, just gonna save some of that. And perfect. That's all you really need. And I'm just gonna dump the rest in there. I am gonna give them a quick rinse there. Excellent. Okay. Now, while I let those drain for a couple minutes and continue to flip them out into the sink, I'm gonna grab my food processor because it's gonna be doing all the work. I just need to. And I like that. The less of the not so fun stuff I have to do, the better. So we're gonna plug this guy in here and get her ready. I'm just checking my quantities here. I've actually made this one a bunch of times, and it literally you can't go wrong. It never goes perfect. Oh my god, that's hilarious, Underground. You know what's really funny about that is I actually was listening. I was listening to the soundtrack for Beverly Hills Cop this morning while I was doing my email because it was warm, and then I'm like, oh, I'll do like The Heat Is On is my subject line, and then I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube. So that's hilarious that you mentioned that because I was just listening. But I love that. You know what? That's one of those songs that I don't know about the remixes, but I love the original. I do. I can't help it. Okay, so we are going to grab our. Oh, I need to grab my olive oil. Actually, I'm going to show you this first because we might have to take the stick blender out. Now, when you buy tahini or tahina, depending on where you get it from, it's a sesame paste, but because it's an oil, because seeds have oil, the oil will rise to the top and the paste itself will settle to the bottom. Now, sometimes you have no problem getting your spoon in and just giving it a really good stir. Like that. You just want to make sure you get it all the way to the bottom and get it really well combined. And as you can see, like it's already starting to emulsify and get homogeneous. However, the older your tahini is, because it's usually good for 2-3 years from when you buy it, the longer you've had it, the harder it gets when it sets. So you quite often had anyone want a mod shop? Bye, Underground! Yeah, it comes with perks, including taste testing, and yeah. So anyways, when you're doing this, you really want to make sure it's super well combined, because the really thick stuff is at the bottom. I have my moments. There are some days I'm better at it than others. So, as you can see, like it's really sticking to the spoon like that. In that case, because you really want to get it super well emulsified, you can either... I don't understand Twitch, yeah. Yeah. The best way and the easiest way to do that is to either... You can just toss the whole bowl into your food processor, or if you actually have a stick blender, I would highly recommend just grabbing this baby and shoving it right down to the bottom and letting it go until you get it all combined. And that's the easiest, especially like I said, when your tahini's a little older, it tends to get a little thicker and it's much harder to do. So we're just going to start our, okay, fingers crossed. I'm actually going to turn this down to 1. Make sure it's on the lower of the settings. And there we go. just move it around. Oops. Yeah, exactly. Most people don't understand Twitch. Yeah. There are days I'm not sure I understand it. Okay. Just try not to get your blade out of it, or you could end up wearing it, but you just want to